Hey guys, I'm back again and I have for you the autumn tag. Finally I'm getting to this after seeing so many really interesting tag videos for this. I'm, finally gonna take the plunge after I've had a chance to think about the different things I could show you for this video. So let's get started. My favorite thing about autumn, and the only thing I like about autumn, because it's not really my favorite season, is the fact of living in a place like Normandy where I can actually see the leaves change colors. Because before I used to live in New Orleans, and in New Orleans, those seasons are mixed, honey. I mean, you can go all the way almost to November and, you only have like a light sweater on because it's still so hot. So yeah, that's a good thing. But otherwise, no, I don't really like autumn because here it is gray, it is rainy, it is windy, and it is too cool for me. I like summer and late spring. Those are my favorite seasons. Okay, the books that remind me the most of my school days are very particular. The first one is Little House on the Prairie. Love, love, love me some Little House on the Prairie. Constantly I was checking these out of my school library. I mean, it was ridiculous. I don't even know how many times I've read this entire series, and I've read it out of sequence as well because I, was reading it so much that I knew the story. But I absolutely loved it. It was just fun. And, the fact that it's this voice of Laura Ingalls Wilder and, everything about it. So that was one book. Okay, the next one that reminded me of school is Le Petit Nicolas. I think I must have read this, started reading this, I think it was maybe when I was 10 or 11, something like that, at school. And, so this is like 1950s France. The little boy and all of his little friends at school and all the stuff they get up to. And it really is well done. And it's drawn by Sempe is doing the drawings. And the French is, it's not too difficult, but it's the kind of French you are encouraged to read when you're about 10 or 11 because it encourages to have better grammar and all that kind of stuff. But it's fun. It's a fun read. But this is the second volume of a bind up that came out. I think it was 2 years ago was the anniversary of Le Petit Nicolas. So this is the second part of the bind up. Okay, now the other book that reminded me, there's two books that I have left. A Confederacy of Dunces. This is fantastic. I think I read this when I was in sophomore year of high school, and it turned out that my English teacher had John Kennedy Toole as her English professor at university. So she had a lot of things to tell us about this book, and it was all good. It was all good. So it was a fun read, and it was a fun analysis of this book. And I'll say she knew the man who wrote it, so that made it even more interesting. Okay, and then my last book that reminds me of school is Great Expectations. Now, this is probably a Dickens book that a lot of people have read. Don't you just love this cover? This is vintage again, but these kind of modern type covers, I like that. I just think it's cool. But anyway, yeah, this book really reminds me of school because I remember it was on our reading list. And when people saw this book on the reading list, it was like, oh no, what is this? Great Expectations. It's so long. But guess what? I started reading this and I just couldn't stop reading about Pip. I want to know what's going to happen to Pip all the way to the end. And I probably could read this one again. I really enjoyed it. I remember really, really enjoying this book and thinking, oh, wow, Dickens can be interesting. So, yeah, so this one reminds me of school. Hey, I found one. I thought I wasn't going to find one, but this is a book by Joyce Carol Oates that I read quite a while ago. Black Girl, White Girl, and it has, I think it takes place, it's 1975. So the Vietnam War is going on. There's, they're talking about racism in here. There's a murder, either a murder or death. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've read this one. But what I remember was it kind of had a little bit of creepy going on in here. Typical Joyce Carol Oates. I don't know how she does it, but she can give you a little bit of that creepy with really the bare essentials, and she can give you creepy. But yeah, it was a good book and very interesting. And the cover was what had attracted me initially to this particular book. I mean, I was looking for Joyce Carol Oates' book, but when I saw this particular cover, for some reason, I just had to get this one. But it was good. I know I don't have any Halloween stories to tell you. My favorite horror story, I don't really do creepy. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I used to watch, horror films a little bit in high school and stuff like that, but that kind of stuff just would scare the shit out of me, and I wouldn't sleep for 2 weeks. So I just quit watching that kind of stuff, and so I'm not, creepy. Look, I went out and I got this book, House of Leaves. I don't even know if I'm going to read this. I'm going to try to read it in October. I said I would try. I would pick it up October 1st, and hopefully by 31st I'd be finished it, maybe a bit earlier, and hopefully it won't scare the crap out of me. But after seeing Vipka's review of House of Leaves, I think it might scare the crap out of me. So I might have to read it with the lights on, or during the day, or at work or something. So that's about as close to creepy as I can get for you. I don't have a favorite horror film, but I can tell you the last thing that I saw, and that was years ago, was what's that movie? The one with Hannibal Lecter. Oh my goodness, that movie was some shit. I'm sorry. I was like gripping my husband's arm. There were like nail marks in his arm, and I didn't sleep for 2 weeks after that movie. I was seeing, cannibals everywhere and stuff. I don't know. I can't get into that. Okay, book releases. I'm looking forward to The Luminaries, which is a shortlisted book for the Man Booker this year. The Luminaries is coming out, I think it's in the end of October, and it takes place in New Zealand, and it has a murder mystery in it going through it. It sounds really good. And it takes place in 1870 something, so it's late 19th century, so even more interesting. I'm also looking forward to The Lowland. I can't remember exactly what it's all about, but it's written by, what's her name? I can't remember her. I'll write her name here because I can't remember what it is. And it sounds really intriguing as well. And it is also shortlisted for the Man Booker. And there's another one that I'm interested in is The Goldfinch, which you probably heard from some of my other favorite YouTubers who read fiction, adult fiction. The Goldfinch sounds really good too. And I'm also interested in reading the third installment of the Divergent series. So you're probably saying, but Didi, you don't read YA. You don't do YA. Yeah, okay. I don't usually do YA, but I read the first Divergent, and I thought it was really good, and I was really interested. And I went and read Insurgent, and then that did me in. I was outdone how bad that one was, because I just thought, what? All of these, well, I don't want to get into spoilers, but anyway, there was some things that happened in the second one that I didn't get, and there was just no information, and there was just lots of things wrong with it. So I'm kind of wondering how she's going to clean all that up in the third book. So it comes out, I think, the end of October. So I'm looking forward to that one. This autumn, I am looking for, there aren't very many that I really know about, but I am looking forward to seeing the movie that they're doing on J.D. Salinger, and how his books somehow inspire people to murder other people. I think that's coming out this week or something. Yeah, I think it's sometime this week. I am very interested in seeing that one, even I have a feeling it's kind of creepy, but I'll probably still watch that one anyway if I can. Hopefully it'll come to France and I can see it, because it just sounds really intriguing. I have never heard of any of this stuff before, and I do like J.D. Salinger, so I'm going to have hopefully get a chance to see that one. Fingersmith by Sarah Waters. I have not read any Sarah Waters, so this is really something I'm really anxious about reading. It's quite a whopper, but I've been told from my subscribers, my lovely subscribers, that this is a very readable book, and it reads very quickly, and it's quite a page turner. So I hope to enjoy Sarah Waters at this point. And the next two are from this is what I call my Grace Eickmeyer series. Thank you, Grace. Hello, how are you, Grace? These are some books that I won on her channel, and so yeah, I am really looking forward to reading Shackling Waters. It's all about jazz clubs, and jazz musicians, and it sounds like it's right up my alley. So that's my first one. Second one, of course, is The Remains of the Day. I'm probably the only person on YouTube that hasn't read anything by Ushiguro. So yeah, this is also another book from my Grace Eickmeyer series, and I hope to read it this fall. So that's all I have for you today. That is the end of my autumn tag. If you haven't done this, you need to do it. I am going to tag someone in particular because I haven't seen her do this, and that is Eve over at Idara 48. Girl, get on it. Do it. Okay? Because I'm sure she's got some interesting books to show us and some interesting responses to these questions. I want to thank Dani from Dani on Books for doing this tag. It was really interesting, and encourage you all to go and subscribe to Dani. Her channel is fantastic. She reads some really interesting books, and she has some wonderful insight on what she reads. I will be sure to link her channel below. Bye-bye.